she's so fine. Hell of a blows my mind. Hell of a lights my day.
What's good, guys? This story is coming out via WGN 9 out of Chicago, but I thought it relevant because of the story I covered yesterday where the men from New York and New Jersey went for a little getaway down in the Houston area, rented an Airbnb in a very nice neighborhood, went to the club, picked up some ladies. One of the men was walking one of the young ladies into the home that they had rented when a man walked up and shot him, and the female left with the shooter. So that tells you that she knew him in some sort of fashion. But regardless, this came out in June, and I want to thank Marie722 for sending it to me just the day before yesterday. Men drugged and targeted in robberies by women they meet while out. And I will play the video that goes with this. In party cities up and down the coast of Florida like Delray Beach, Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood, and Miami, women are picking at men to drug and rob them. I was horrified. I was on my futon in my apartment, and there was a woman basically looting my apartment, a 24-year-old victim told NewsNation. The man, who wishes to remain anonymous, is in dental school and went out to party with friends at a bar in downtown Fort Lauderdale. All he remembers is waking up and his wallet and phone were gone. The women drained his bank accounts, even opening up a credit card in his name. The victim said he is 100% confident he was drugged. I have never felt like that before in my life. I have gone over it 100 times. I have never had a problem going to a bar, getting a drink, and getting an Uber home, he said. Police are investigating a similar case at the Hard Rock in Hollywood, Florida, where 3 men say they were drugged. The women reportedly stole a Rolex, gold chain, and $5,000 in cash. It's not just women robbing men. Sometimes it's even men cross-dressing as women. Wait till you see the video that shows the man who was cross-dressing as a woman. Police say for months, a man dressed as a woman trolled Miami hotspots, driving high-end exotic cars and offered men rides. The suspect then drugged and robbed them. We're seeing more and more men becoming victims, and they are becoming victims because men are gullible. And when I say they are gullible, they are flattered if an attractive woman comes up to them and starts to engage in conversation, said law enforcement expert Andrew Scott. In Las Vegas, 23-year-old Wendy Jones was busted for drugging men and stealing fancy watches at popular hotels and casinos. Police and this victim say everyone needs to have their guard up. I think it has really sort of shattered my sense of security that I am a guy, I can go to a bar and I can get a drink with a friend and not have to worry about too much. I just don't think that is true anymore, said the 24-year-old victim. Police believe there could be more men out there who are victims, but many are too embarrassed to come forward. I'm going to play the video that goes with this now.
Yeah, absolutely, Nicole. They are getting away with cash and fancy watches and cell phones. It's happening in touristy areas like where we are right now in downtown Fort Lauderdale. So many of the men have the same story. They think these women are flirting with them, but then suddenly they wake up in a daze and their valuables are gone. In party cities up and down the coast of Florida, like Delray Beach, Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood, and Miami, a disturbing new crime trend. Women picking up, then drugging and robbing men. When you woke up and saw the woman in your apartment, what did you think?
I was horrified. I was on my futon in my apartment, and there was a woman basically looting my apartment.
This 24-year-old is in dental school and went out to party with friends at this downtown Fort Lauderdale bar. He doesn't want his full face shown, but says all he remembers is waking up and his wallet and phone were gone. The women drained his bank accounts and even opened a credit card in his name. How confident are you that they drugged you?
100%. I've never felt like that before in my life. I mean, I've gone over it so many times and just like, never had a problem going to a bar and getting a drink and getting an Uber home.
Police also investigating a similar case this weekend at the Hard Rock in Hollywood, Florida, where 3 men say they were drugged. The women reportedly stole a Rolex, gold chain, and $5,000 in cash. And it's not just women robbing men. Sometimes it's even men dressed as women. This suspect now behind bars. Police say for months this person trolled Miami hotspots, driving high-end exotic cars, offering men rides, but then drugging and robbing them.
We're seeing more and more men becoming victims, and they're becoming victims because men are gullible. And when I say they're gullible, they're flattered if an individual, particularly a woman, an attractive woman, comes up to them, starts to engage in a conversation.
It's happened recently in Las Vegas, too. 23-year-old Wendy Jones busted for drugging men and stealing fancy watches at popular hotels and casinos. Police and this victim say men need to have their guard up.
I think it's really kind of shattered my sense of security. I'm a guy. I can go to a bar and get a drink with a friend and not have to worry about too much. I just don't think that's true anymore.
And it is crazy to think about how much access these suspects can get when they get a hold of these guys' cell phones. Basically, when the guys are passed out, they use the Face ID to get into the cell phone, and then before they know it, they have access to so many bank accounts and Venmo and Cash App and everything you can think of. And the other interesting thing, Nicole, is that police tell us they believe there are more victims. It's just that many of the men are embarrassed to come forward. Nicole?
Well, Brian, that's what I was just thinking. I really respect that guy for coming forward. And you're right, so much information right there on our phones. My goodness. All right, Brian Enton live tonight.
Yeah, he's hoping
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, he's hoping that, by coming forward, it'll send the message out and people will be on alert.
Oh, absolutely. This is certainly a story that needs to be shared. So thank you, Brian Enton.
So yes, it does happen. And it's been happening. It used to be the other way around. Men drugging women and doing all sorts of things to them. But now it's kind of turned into a reverse fashion. And I just couldn't help but bring this to the channel considering what I did yesterday regarding that Airbnb incident. And it puzzled me that the police said they didn't know what the motive was in that situation. And I'm thinking, what do you mean you don't know what the motive was in that situation? If the woman left with the shooter and she didn't arrive with the shooter, that tells you one thing right there. It was a setup of some sort. I don't know what they wanted out of it. I don't know if it went bad. I don't know what happened. But if the woman left with the shooter, she obviously knew him. No woman in her right mind is going to leave with a man who just shot someone and killed them without knowing them. So I'm going to end the story on that note, but I definitely want to bring this to the channel so that people could hear it and hopefully not hear it for the first time. Thanks for watching, guys.